Hey guys, it's Spencer with Leg Up Fitness, and we are doing the 2-week wrap up of the 5x5 challenge. So I'm going to continuously do this every 2 weeks throughout this whole deal. So we should get 6 of these total. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to discuss where I started with the lifts and why it does progress pretty quickly, even though the numbers in 2 weeks doesn't seem that much. If you accumulate this throughout a 12-week program, you're going to see a massive difference in strength. So let's say for week 1, my bent over barbell row started at 95 pounds, and at the end of week 2, I went up 10 pounds and I ended that with 105. My one-legged Smith machine squat started off at 50 pounds and that went up to 75 pounds. So that's up 25 pounds. Let's see, my bench, although I will say that I increased it a little bit more than was required on the program. Let's say I started off at 135. That's just a 45-pound plate on each side. And I ended week 2 with 160. So that right there is up 25 pounds. Overhead press, I started off at 100, ended up at 110 at the end of week 2. And deadlifts, I started at 135 and ended at 155. So that's up 20 pounds right there. That's going to be a normal deal because for first week, you got 3 sessions. You have A day, B day, A day, and then it goes to week 2, which is B day, A day, B day. So I'm going to continuously repeat that pattern. What I will do, I kind of wanted to get into this because I had been doing a deficit for quite some time that I felt that my metabolism was kind of out of whack. So I went ahead and did a reverse diet kind of, and I went back up to maintenance for a little bit. So about a week before this, when you are dieting, you want to take your weight every morning after you go to the bathroom and you're fresh, right? So you take that weight every day, and for 7 days you take that and then you add it up, divide it by 7, and then you get your median weight, right? And you do that for a couple of weeks. That way you can see a progression, whether it's in a surplus or a deficit, or in this case a maintenance, to make sure that everything is good, because I'm not gaining weight and I'm not losing weight. So everything is good. When I looked at the end result of my week 1, it was 220.8. And this is obviously without a leg. So at the end of week 2, it was 220.2. So minimal difference there. What I plan on doing is I plan on reducing my calories by 210. And I know that sounds a little specific, but what that is it's 1 serving of my morning meal. Currently I have 3 servings, so I'm reducing it down to 2. And that takes away some carbs, that takes away 210 calories. And what I'm gonna do is, my personal benefit of adding cardio is I'm gonna add 3 sessions of cardio, 30 minutes on non-lifting days. So that's going to give a caloric boost as well, but I'm mainly doing it because I don't want to be out of breath. So, I want to do my cardio. Initially, you typically don't want to add in cardio just because it's going to give you false numbers when it comes to weight loss. You don't know if you're actually in a deficit or if you are in a let's say a maintenance phase, because you're not going to hit the same number of caloric burn every time that you do cardio. So you don't know what you're doing. So this is why it's good to establish a baseline when it comes to calorie intakes. There are plenty of tools out there, and in the description I'll drop a link for something to use, but there's plenty of stuff. So I want to kind of dumb it down a little bit just because everything is overthought. So I am of the mind that I'm a little bit more strict. Like, I eat the same thing every day. I weigh it out by grams because you don't know what you're getting unless you measure it. So if you want to be strict, that's fine. You can also just have the if it fits your macros deal, whatever works for you. For me, in my journey, I'm going to be strict. So for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to drop 210 calories, add some cardio here, and I'm going to ride that out until basically I stall. So, and once I do stall, then I'll either up my cardio or, yeah, no, that's most likely what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna up my cardio from 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And then kind of ride that out until that stalls. And then if that stalls, I may add an extra session of cardio depending on if it is really taxing on my lifts. If it is taxing on my lifts, then what I'm just going to do is reduce a little bit more on the calories. That way I can also ride that out. When you drop your calories so much or too much at the beginning, your body will adjust to it. That's my plan. So like I said, I stayed at a steady 220. In the next 2 weeks, I'm probably going to see quite a bit of water drop, and it might be 5 to 7 to 10 pounds. Who knows? So yeah, that's my super simple, I feel super simple way of doing it. I know it's a little, not everybody can eat the same thing every day, I know. But whenever I know my goals and where I want to be, then it's a lot easier to just, especially when you're coming to the point where you're like, I'm tired of thinking of things to come up with every night to eat. Well, a meal plan that makes you eat the same thing, that's within your macros, makes everything a lot easier. That way, when you do go out to eat, it's more of a reward. And whereas you go out to eat all the time, then that's just the way things are, and you just don't know what they're putting in the food, the amount of oils, the amount of fats, whatever. So this is a more controlled environment, especially if you have goals like me where you want to be healthy, be strong. You're not necessarily looking to be on stage, but yeah, in the comments, drop what you tend to follow. I would love to hear your input, as well as where do you think is going to be the first stage of stall. I myself think that squats is a big one. For the next stall, I honestly think that it's possibly due to shoulder injuries. I think it's going to be bench press, as much as I hate to say it. But yeah, no, let me know what you think, guys. And I appreciate you watching, taking the time. So we have another 10 weeks to go. So